Hello again. Thanks for coming back to my channel to see another video. This particular video, I'm going to talk about medications. But before I do, I want to urge you, if you've not subscribed to my channel, to do so. It doesn't cost you anything just to subscribe. There's a little icon down in the bottom right hand of your screen there. You can click on that. And you can also click on, if you go to my page, my main page, which I always put the web link in my description, where you can go there and you can hit on the notifications bell, and you want to check the box that says all, so that every time I release a video you'll be notified of that. No obligation to you or anything. You can decide whether or not you want to watch the next one that comes out, but at least you will know about it, particularly if you've been helped in any way by any of these previous videos that I have done. This channel is designed, as I've said many times, to help encourage people, to give practical advice from myself, in my having dealt with mental illness throughout my life, off and on. I think there are things that can help you, that can encourage you and lift you up and give you hope while you're enduring this trial. And one of the things I want to talk about tonight in this video is the importance of medications, their importance, and what to expect from them. Here's the thing: if you have a legitimate case of mental illness, that is, you have something bothering you and you're feeling thoughts of condemnation, of guilt, of fear, of dread, and it's something that doesn't go away. It's not been caused by anything in your life. Your life has been going along just fine and dandy, and all of a sudden something like this hits you, and it will not go away for some reason, in spite of you trying to reason with it. That is a legitimate case, likely a legitimate case of mental illness. And particularly if it's been bothering you for a long while, you will likely need medication. And you want to ask, why would I need to have medication? Because, now some people are skeptical about medications, what medications will do, what they will cause you, side effects and what have you. But here's the reason that you need antidepressants or some type of medication when you have a legitimate mental illness. It's because you have a chemical imbalance in your brain. And until that chemical imbalance is corrected, you're going to likely have this problem right on. Now, what do I mean by chemical imbalance? Our brains operate in somewhat of a different way than other cells in the body. The brain cells in the mind are not connected, flush with one another like the cells in the rest of the body. They're different in the sense that the brain cells in the mind or in the brain are separated by small gaps from one to the next. And the messages that are sent across these cells, this whole idea of thinking for us, there is a certain jump from one cell to the next, and there is a gap between. Those messages have to go from one cell, jump across to the next cell, and on to communicate and for our sense of communication to work properly. Well, in that jumping from one cell to the next, there are certain chemicals the body makes up for us that helps those messages and signals to transfer smoothly and efficiently. And when you have a lack of those chemicals, or a lesser amount to a great degree of those chemicals that are helping that process, it's going to cause a breakdown in your system and cause you to have a mental illness of some sort. Now, there are three general types of neurotransmitters or chemicals in the brain that are used to transfer messages from one cell to the next in the brain. One of those is called a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Another one is called serotonin, and the third one is called norepinephrine. Those are the three basic types of chemicals, neurotransmitters, that are needed in our brains between the cells to help transfer signals across. And when those things are not there, there's going to be problems. So you need medication to help correct that chemical imbalance. And what these medications do is they help the body to produce a certain type, or one of those types, or more than one of those types of neurotransmitters in your brain. It helps the body to make those better. That's the purpose. That's the kind of thing that the medication does. One of the misconceptions about medications that I think that people have is that antidepressants and other medicine for mental illness are not speed pills or some type of narcotic to help pick you up. It's nothing like that at all. It has nothing to do with that. And many people are skeptical about taking these medications. They're not drugs that are going to drug you and have you down and be laid up with terrible side effects and things like that. They're not doing that kind of work in your body. They're not a narcotic or a speed pill, as I said. You need those in your body. That medication will take and help your body to produce those certain types of neurotransmitters. Now, every medicine does a different job. Some work on one type of, say, norepinephrine. Another type, like Zoloft, for example, that one of the ones I take, works on serotonin. They do different things for helping the body produce different types of neurotransmitters for you, these medicines, and they're all different kinds of medicines. Now, likely what you would take to get started, and I'll go into how that works in just a moment, is that you will likely be put on a combination of drugs. A combination that will help target all three of those types of neurotransmitters in helping the body to produce those types of neurotransmitters. And that's how it generally starts. Now, let me say this. There are some side effects from taking these medications, but nothing serious that I've noticed over the years. You might have like a dry mouth, or you might feel the urge to eat more, you might have little things like that, but as far as being doped up and out of your mind and you can't, even relate with what's going on around you and you're sedated, it's not the type of thing that you will endure with these types of medications. You need the medications to correct the imbalance. If you don't take them, the imbalance is going to stay until it's been time enough for it to go away on its own. But most people would like to get well sooner than waiting an indefinite period of time for medication to work. You'll likely be started on a medication or medications, more than likely, to try and target those different types of neurotransmitters in your body. That's the way it was with me. I took 2 or 3 different kinds of medications to start with. And here's one of the things it drags you down about it a little bit, and that is the fact that these medications are not designed to work. Usually, it may take 4 to 6 weeks for the effect to take place for you, before they start helping you. I know when I first started taking medication, I thought, boy, this is going to be great. I'm going to start feeling better. But then I was told right off the bat it was going to be that long. And I thought, man, here we are already in hell and we're trying to get to feeling better. And we got to wait another 4 to 6 weeks to see if this is going to work or not, this combination. It is a very difficult thing. But if we're patient with it and try to hold on, the time will go by and we'll eventually get there. A different type of combination of drugs will be tried. If those don't work, now if you're having terrible side effects of some kind that you didn't expect, or it's making you feel worse by taking a certain combination of drugs, you want to get on the phone with your doctor as soon as possible to let him know that, so that he can do some kind of tweaking with those medications to give you something else and have another combination that he might try for you. And they will work with you on that. You'll take these medications 4 to 6 weeks, maybe sooner. You may start to feel better. The doctor will eventually hit on something, some type of combination for you that will help you where you begin to feel some better. I began to feel slightly better after a long period of time, maybe almost a year before I got any kind of relief at all. But I began to feel a little bit better, and I began to realize that this combination that I am on right now has been a lot more help to me, has helped me significantly to where I can notice it in my life. And that is the goal of your doctor. Now, when you take medications, here's the thing, here's the secret to it. And it's not really a big thing that you have to remember. You should probably already know it, is that if you don't take the medications and you don't take them consistently, they're not going to help you. Some people will take their medications for a period of time and then begin to feel somewhat better and suddenly feel like it's okay to get off the medication. That can be a very bad thing to do, because it may come back with a vengeance on you, and it may take a little longer to get back going in the right direction with it. Continue to take your medications. Now, the doctor may decide at some point that you don't need to take the medications, or at least not to the degree of the dosage that you were taking, that you might take a smaller dose for a while. In many cases, as in the case of myself, I had to continue taking medications. I'll take them for the rest of my life as a matter of prevention. Even with taking medications for prevention, though, I can tell you from my own personal experience, there are going to be humps in the road as you go along. There are going to be difficulties. You may still have some kind of symptom of depression or some other type of mental illness. It may come back up, but it won't be as severe as what it's been in the past. And it's really a safety precaution to continue to take medications as long as you may need to take them, even for the rest of your life. Your body gets adjusted to it, and it's not that big of a problem. It shouldn't be a big problem for you if you continue to take those, so that you may be able to stave off any kind of resurgence of one of these illnesses that would come back. It's a very difficult time that you're going through when you have a legitimate mental illness. It is a very lonely path. You feel like nobody in the world can understand. I can't get away from this. I can't get out of it. And I'm beginning to become hopeless. And it does come to that. It can come to that. Part of what my channel is about finding hope in mental illness. For some reason, I'm still here. I've been through some very, very difficult waters in my life with this. And it's heartbreaking. And it's at times it can be terrifying for you. And you never feel more trapped in your life than when you are in an episode of mental illness. But if you have a good doctor and he has started you on some medications to try, don't give up on that. Give it time. I know it's hard. Believe me, I know it's hard, but give it time. There's a lot of science and research. Research has been done in science trying to figure out what type of medications they could come up with that can help try to restore the imbalance of the chemicals in your brain. And we all hope that one day they'll come out with some way of testing us to see exactly what it is we're lacking, so that they can target it directly and maybe help a whole lot of people avoid mental illness altogether. But until they do, We're stuck with what we have now. If you're already on medication for mental illness right now, and it doesn't cause you any real problems, doesn't make the situation worse for you, continue to take those consistently and follow your doctor's advice. He has the better idea of what you need and what he can do. I've had times in my life when I was taking a medication, or maybe my doctor had started me on something new to try, and it really made my situation worse. And so I got back on the phone real quickly to say that, and she withdrew it, took it off as part of my daily medication. But you want to be able to take something. You want to be continuing to take what medication you have, and eventually there will be a combination of medicines that will likely help you. Friend, we've got to hope. You got to have hope. And medication is not the only thing that can help. There are things you can do in your life, but medication is absolutely essential if you're going to correct the chemical imbalances in your brain. So it's important that we take them, and I've told you what you could expect from taking them. If you haven't started that, or if you haven't bought into that yet, please reconsider doing that for your own good. And let's continue to try to pass the news around to let people know that there is help for mental illness. There are doctors waiting to help us. If you can't get to a doctor somewhere, there are doctors that are doing Zoom meetings, and could do essentially the same thing he could do if you were sitting right in his office. Find out where some of these doctors are that may be close enough where you could get on a Zoom call or something like that they could help you. Don't think that because you're way out in Timbuktu that you cannot get help. There are things that have been done, and especially with the internet now. So let me urge you to do that. I feel for anybody, any of you out there that have suffered from mental illness in any way. And I want to do whatever I can to advise people what they can do to help their situation. So anyway, that's it about today. Medications, the importance of them, and what to expect. I hope if there's something there that can help you, that you will put that into effect for your life. And I thank you again for coming back by. Head on over to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate very much you coming and watching these videos. And until next time, may God bless you.